and data.
You get all that on your allowance.
Yeah. I really feel like I'm adulting with T-Mobile. Seriously, you and Dad should think about switching.
We might just have to.
And the money you save could go towards my allowance, right?
Nice try.
From non-stop streaming to taxes and fees included, T-Mobile's customer benefits let you do a whole lot more than talk. Why compromise? Get value and coverage at T-Mobile, your hometown network. Visit your local T-Mobile store to switch.
Qualifying service required. Unlimited on our network. During congestion, heavy data users and customers choosing lower prioritized plans may notice lower speeds than other customers. Video typically streams at 480p. Amount of high-speed hotspot differs by plan than max 3G speeds. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in monthly rate plan price for eligible plans. See plan for details.
No, not unconscious. Intentional. I mean that flooding our communities with ads, killing us by the thousands, and laughing all the way to the bank type of racist. They are literally killing us. This ends now at wearenotprofit.org.
I am Mark Polly from Crunch Fitness.
And I'm Carissa Polly. Feels like summer, but your summer body isn't feeling it.
Start a membership at Crunch Fitness. You'll find everything you need to lose like COVID-15, mention radio, and your enrollment fee is only $1. Crunch Fitness. No hassle, no pressure, no gimmicks.
And no judgment.
By 2030, SMUD's power supply will be 100% carbon-free. You can help us meet this ambitious goal when you purchase an electric vehicle. Learn about incentives, charging options, and more at smud.org/drive-electric.
This hour of music.
¿Miti?
Dale. ¿Recuerdas cuando mamá te hacía compartir y peleabas?
Ey, más respeto a tu hermana mayor.
El amor de hermanos, tío, de McDonald's. Ordena por anticipado por el app de McDonald's y llévate dos tus favoritos como McNuggets de 10 piezas y una Big Mac por solo $6. Precios y participación pueden variar, producto individual a precio regular.
Audi will give you cash for your car, whether you buy another one from us or not. Dial pound 250 and say, make me an offer, and we'll instantly text you a quote. That's pound 250 and say, make me an offer. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Sign on UPBA for mortgages of Fair Housing Lender, NMLS 1626699. The following example is 30-year term at 2.65% on a loan amount of $400,000 with 50% LTV. Primary residence only and a 740 FICO score.
Hi, friends. Discover true value with TD Ameritrade, where smart investors get smarter.
Save up to 45% on Dell computers built for business with Windows 10 Pro. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Succeed anywhere with Windows 10 Pro. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
What passes as normal these days could be debated, but we all like running water, hot showers, toilets that flush. But when things go haywire in your home, we need pros. Not tomorrow, not next week. How about now? I'm Tom Nakashima, and I know I can count on Boyd Plumbing. Best in the business. 1-855-SOS-BOYD. They bring skill, honesty, and more than a decade of experience. No wonder their testimonials are filled with 5-star reviews. Whatever day-to-day challenges we're all facing in your home, Boyd will get you back to normalcy before you know it. When you need expert help for leaky pipes, drains, water heater, don't get annoyed. Call Boyd. Boyd Plumbing. Currently open Monday through Friday, but if you have an emergency on the weekend and they have an available plumber, they'll do all they can to provide you with emergency service. Call 1-855-SOS-BOYD or visit BoydPlumbing.net.
May I suggest you quit while you're ahead and cash in on Rail Cook's Dog Days of Summer Special. Up to 72 months, 0% financing, up to $2,000 in dealer incentives, and the best installation guarantee available. Go to RailCook.com and schedule your free estimate today. Because just like the Dog Days of Summer, this offer will end soon. RailCook.com.
Getting ready to finally hit the open road.
A road trip, huh? Got a Febreze car vent clip in there?
Febreze car vent clip?
Oh, yeah. Can't have a road trip without Febreze. Freshens your ride for up to 30 days.
Do I pay for installation?
That's easy. Watch, you just clip it in and...
That's fresh.
Your Febreze car vent clip is ready to go.
Thanks for the car vent clip!
Send me a Febreze card!
I found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly, instead of all that.
You know those things impact your credit score.
Didn't impact my credit score, Dad. Now I'm going to the dealership for a test drive and to make the purchase.
Sounds too easy.
No, it's just easy. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/auto-navigator.
At Princess, we believe everyone deserves a real vacation. One where you can order food and drinks to wherever you are, where doors unlock as you approach, so there's no need for room keys, and where drinks and Wi-Fi are all included. Because when you're on a real vacation together, where you don't have to think about anything, you can finally enjoy everything. Plan a Medallion Class cruise with Princess Plus. Call your travel advisor or 1-800-PRINCESS. Terms and restrictions apply. Princess Plus fares are per person. Before booking, consult the CDC website at www.cdc.gov.
Thanks to their 6 precision-cut stainless steel blades. Find your perfect shave with Dollar Shave Club in stores. Yeah, that's Dollar Shave Club in stores. So go to the store and find it.
After her busy day, Lisa unwinds with a Vicks Vapor bath. Lisa's husband relaxes at the end of his day with a Vicks Vapor shower. Lisa and Steve both lose themselves in the soothing Vicks Vapors and forget about the stresses of the day. They also forget about making dinner. Looks like a frozen pizza night. Enjoy a soothing Vicks Vapor moment wherever you choose. Look for Vicks Vapor Bath and Vicks Vapor Shower in a store near you.
Welcome to the show! My name is Charlton with Big C. This is Charlton at Big C Sports, coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C. And them good boys around the country, I want to say today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. And when you go by and test drive yours, just tell them Charlton and Big C sent you, as well as a fleet of Cadillac cars. As we always say, bienvenido. Welcome to the show. The Bitty Bitty Biche. It's all fair in love and war. Ground on the board days. You can follow Big C Sports on 17 podcast applications. Powered by #1 Google, #2 Alexa, #3 Spotify, #4 Spreaker, #5 Apple Podcasts. There's a lot more coming. Hold on. Let me catch my breath. #6 iHeartRadio Podcast. #7 Castbox Podcast. #8 Deezer Podcast. #9 Podcast Addict. You ever been an addict for something? Sometimes people are addicts to love. You got to go to Love Anonymous. So many addicts to love. #10 Podchaser. #11 Geo Savan Podcast. #12 Podtail Podcast. #13 Podcast Addict. There it is again. Twice. Say it twice if that makes sense to you. #14 Hub Hopper Podcast. You ever been hub hopping around for anybody? If that makes sense to you. #15 Stitcher Podcast. #16 Radio Online Podcast. #17 Luminary Podcast. It's all fair and level war. There's another podcast in there, but I haven't gotten verified on them. Also, Facebook is starting to want to add podcasts to Facebook. That would be a home run. Home run! 3-point play! Touchdown! It's all fair and level war. I really appreciate that. Just say play Big C Sports Podcast. You will see our application pop up all over the world. Really appreciate it. Also, on TV. We're actually on television now. Let's call that television is Xfinity Comcast TV, #2, Apple TV, #3, Roku TV, #4, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. Ready to have a smart TV? We'll be sitting there looking at a film picture. Man, I love paying homage to my family legacy. We don't need what are those .com companies? Genetic.com, Ancestry.com, who you came from.com, who your parents were swiping left and right with.com. Just go to BigCSports.com and hear about Big C Sports Legacy. All fair level or my family legacy. Mamo, the matriarch of the family on my mother's side. And then Pop played Negro League Baseball, the patriarch of our family. Also, Mud Diaz, she's actually a seer. She can see things before they happen. Really appreciate that. Kept me out of a lot of trouble. Also, my beautiful mother started a Head Start program. You can give that some praise. Give that woman some praise. Also coached a Little League baseball team. And we won the league championship. And some people said, I will not tolerate that woman telling my kids what to do. And my mother said, have them quit. It's all fair and love and war. She was not long with words. She did not mince words. Also, on my father's side, the matriarch of the family, my mother, I might say my grandmother, Alberta Curry, kept a lot of things together. Give that woman some praise. Also, my grandfather, the patriarch of my father's side, was a pastor. You can see where some of that screaming comes from. Also, he owns service stations in Oakland, California. Please, Grandpa, don't hurt them if they don't come with the money to pay for the gas. All fair level work. Pastor, you just gave a great message in the church. I even paid the tithe. Don't I get a free tank of gas? He said, no, that's all fair and level war. We say, please, Grandpa, don't hurt him. All fair and level war. And my beautiful father, he was the United States Air Force pilot and chief mechanic. And then I channel my brother Todd through all my loud speaking. Hey, Todd, how you doing? Good morning, Todd. Hey, what's up? Good morning. Kind of shake the whole house when he spoke. So I love paying homage to my family and then my beautiful family and my beautiful children, Daisy and Malcolm, that have done a lot of things. So when I say, let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show, Espy'S nominated Big C Sports Podcast. Really do appreciate that. The best sports show in the universe, according to a lot of people that listen to it, and I really do appreciate that. No scripts, no three-way teleprompters, no producer in my ear. People say that is painfully obvious, Charlton. It is all fair and level where all I say is lead, follow, or get out of the way. I also want to say I thank my son Malcolm for giving me stats on a daily basis. He gives it on a daily basis. Really appreciate that. Going to have a segment for Malcolm speaking to colleges all over this country later in the year when basketball starts off. And my daughter Daisy, oftentimes she would help me set up events, at sporting events. So I really appreciate that. And at times Big C in the past as well. Number one, why Espy nominated? Because I produce, you produce. Number two, I direct the topics. Number three, I broadcast every show. Number four, I do all the sound effects. Guess who's coming to dinner? Excuse me, did I break the concentration? I do all of the commercials. Here's Johnny, all fair and loving war. And then, if that makes sense to you, I do the storytelling. I provide all the stats for Big C Sports Podcast outside of what Malcolm gives me. I do the play-by-play, touchdown, home run, three-point play. Oh, man, Willie, he's going all the way. You might have to be an Oakland Raider fan to understand what he did to the Minnesota Vikings in the Super Bowl down in Pasadena, California. And then I upload every show to 17 podcast applications. About to be 18, but Facebook, I'm still trying to get affirmation on that. And I've never missed a show since starting Big C Sports Podcast, September 12th, 2015. Give that man some praise. I said, give that man some praise. Praise, praise, praise. I love praising all fair and loving war. And then I say, Big C Sports is the only sports show in the universe that actually takes the time to honor God before you need something. That makes sense to you. As God said in Genesis 13:15, God said, for all the land that thou seest will I give you. Give that man some praise and thy seed forever. You know, Bob Johnson started BET, built it into a $1 billion corporation. That's my plans with Big C Sports. The book of James said, you have not because you ask not. I heard Steve Harvey talk about that when he was in New York City trying to get a chance to get into action. And so just ask. Everybody got to understand what I understand. That you have to make the phone call sometimes. You got to make the phone call, but you got to say it to the right people. At the same time, you cannot say the right thing to the wrong person. And the antithesis of that, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. Some people just don't have the same vision. Big C Sports just got credentialed for every NFL football team in 2021. I was saying that was going to happen before it happened. You have not because you ask not. And that happened. One black man flying through the universe in a $15 billion industry. Now Big C Sports has national media credential. That's why I'm telling young people, don't listen to people who don't believe in you. Don't listen to people who talk crap about you behind your back. Just know you're in a $15 billion industry. And the NFL recognizes Big C Sports. So for all those people that said, man, how are you going to get it done? What's new? How'd you get into radio? How'd you get the podcast? Oh, man, you're never going to make it. Well, Big C Sports Podcast just yesterday got nationally accepted and competed all the media of the NFL. That's one black man. So many people have jumped off the ship, and now we're part of a $15 billion enterprise called the National Football League. Also, the credentials coming from the NBA and Major League Baseball. I'm saying that for a reason. That's why I honor my family. A lot of times, people don't understand, a lot of black Americans have to go through hell just to get their liberty and justice for all. That's why I pray honor to them. Give them praise, 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 praise. And I honor them on every show. That's important to me. So Big C Sports Podcast, for anybody that said, oh, man, you're arrogant. Oh, man, you think you know it all. Oh, man, you talk too much. You talk too loud. Your speakers could use a better microphone. You need a better microphone. Are you getting commercials? Big C Sports Podcast just got accepted national credential for every NFL football team. in the United States of America. Give me some praise, 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 praise. Is a pretty sad dog that won't wag his own tail. And I'm not a sad dog, but sometimes I do wag my tail. If that makes sense to you, all friend level war. I will never stop wagging my tail and giving praise to the Veterans Crisis Hotline. They are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. Yeah, everybody knows somebody going through issues. Heck, I go through issues too. Sometimes you just need somebody to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. You ever want to hold somebody's hand? Give us some praise, 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 praise. I really want to give praise to our Veterans Crisis Hotline. They are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones by holding their hand. Pick up the phone and call 800-772-8624. You can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. You can definitely get some help for our veterans and their loved ones. Also, very happy to be affiliated with Valley, home with weekly TV on Dish TV, Direct TV, AT&T Uverse, TV 53, home of the first place San Francisco Giants. When the Giants come to town, they're getting Big C Sports Podcast, his media credentials. Hold on, my producer messed up again. When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Okay, something like that, but I still want my credentials. So just realize that when you reach out to them, just tell them Big C sent you. My goal is really simple. I have the Big C Sports real estate dating app because houses get lonely too. You ever get tired of that garage door that squeaks when it opens and you need a new one? Sometimes you got to swipe left, swipe right. You can do that for a loan application too. Get tired of paying that high mortgage note? It's all fair level more. Go to bigcsports.pacwm.com and look at how you can get qualified to lower your mortgage rate or even get a loan. All fair level more. The goal is simple: to recruit 10,000 real estate agents and brokers all over this great country to help put people back to work. Just like McDonald's does it, Nike does it, sports teams are doing it, Watch Tilly, TV and real estate work for you. State Farm does it, McDonald's does it, all of them doing it. Let it work for you too. BigCsports.pacwm.com, 800-772-8624, or go to BigCsports.pacwm.com. Also, I want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3. God said, man, you talk too loud. God said, let there be light. Open your cell phones and say play Big C Sports Podcast, and you will see all of our apps pop up from all over the world. And it's so important for me to say this, because it's so true. It's hard to get a credential, a national credential in a sports team. It really is. But I just got my national credential yesterday for Big C Sports Podcast. And the first day of autumn, in my birthday month. Give me some praise, 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 praise. Because the thing that happens with the people that make the several $1 million, none of them get there without the credential. It's like you got to be part of that club. Like a fraternity or sorority. Sometimes you got to be in the club to get the benefits of it. So I really thank the NFL for welcoming them in Big C Sports Podcast, because a lot of times people walk off the ship before the ship really takes off on its maiden voyage. That's okay. Like the Starship Enterprise, I want to go warp speed. It's all fair and level work. Also want to say today's show is sponsored by Budweiser Zero. It has 0% alcohol, 100% on its game. That's important to me. It goes great with the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with exotic meat. So as I tell you, sports fans, when you're watching the game, you eat the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with, what's all the exotic meats? If that makes sense to you, it tastes better in your mouth than it does in your hands. As do most things in life. I can guarantee it. From my own research, I can guarantee most things taste better in your mouth than it does in your hand. You ever see a kid that a runny, snotty nose, snot just running down like a water fountain, and parents always trying to wipe the nose, because sometimes parents just don't understand the great Will Smith. Let that kid eat that snotty nose. It's full of protein. It's full of vitamin C. It has a lot of vitamin D, and those kids know what they're doing, so let it rain, rain. It's all fair. And the more kids, grandparents used to use my grandparents used to have this handkerchief, and when they had to blow the nose, they would take this handkerchief, they blow their nose, and they put it right back in their pocket, like, ugh. But you know, they barely got sick, and they drank the alcohol, and they didn't go to the doctor as much as a lot of people now. So there's something to that. So I've been walking around with a handkerchief in my pocket, and when I blow my nose, I just put it right back in my pocket. If that makes sense to you. Old people understand. Give some old people some praise. You didn't get to be old by being stupid. Give them praise, 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 praise. All fair and level war. You did not get old by being stupid. I really appreciate that. At the same time, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I want to say thank you to Super Draft Pro Fantasy Sports by Caesars Entertainment. That's going to give Big C Sports free hotels. That's FREE in Las Vegas at the Caesars hotels. Go to go to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports. You can find the best sporting game app in the history of the universe, featuring Sports Illustrated, Yahoo Sports, Associated Press. Yes, you can go there. RotoWire, Sportico. It's all there. Subscribe to unlock exclusive fantasy games and sports betting experiences by going to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports. It's the official partner of Caesars Entertainment. superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports. Just got nationally credentialed for all the NFL on yesterday, the first day of autumn. The autumn wind was a Raider. At the same time, Big C Sports like the autumn wind. We're going to take what's called the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. And when we come back, I'm going to talk more about some football and what's also going on in the world of baseball. Hit deep right field, back to the wall, home runs, all square and level work. In the words of the former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger and the recall Governor Gavin Newsom, I'll be back. All right, we are back for the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the #1 podcast network in the universe, iHeartRadio podcast, as well as 16 other podcasts on 17 podcast applications. About to be 18. Give that man some praise. Let him praise, 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 praise. Really appreciate that. And I want to say thank you, especially to everyone that's ever been a part of Big C Sports. To get a national credential for the United States, for the National Football League is important. I worked so hard to make it happen. And it's important because I never quit, I never missed a day. And sometimes when you do good work, you get noticed by the #1 sports league in the United States of America, the National Football League. Thank you for accepting Big C Sports, and I just appreciate that. I won't let you down, but don't let me down, if that makes sense to you. Open that door for more people of diversity, as I want to be part of that. I don't want to just be somebody talking about diversity. I am somebody. After an 0-2 start, the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons, they're looking for their first win. The Saints and the Patriots are going to meet in the first Breeze-Brady-less matchup since 2005. The only time since 2005 these teams will meet without Drew Brees or Tom Brady playing for either team. Seattle Seahawks wide receiver, the great DK Metcalf, he vows to keep his emotions in check and tune out opponents smack talking. Sometimes it can cost you penalty yards. Also, with ex-college coach #1 quarterback Card Shield pass for the Jaguars, it hurts. Think about it hurts sometimes when it hurts. Hurts and Prescott set for the first meeting as the Eagles visit the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Give them boys some praise. Praise, praise, praise. Should be a great game. New York City, the Jets, quarterback Zach Wilson, he's aiming to start against the Denver Broncos. It's all fair and level war. He's not going to be benched. He's aiming to start because some people get a feeling that maybe he's going to be pulled. He's not going to be pulled. Give the man to go through his ups and downs. So I really feel that in order to go through anything, you got to go through the fire. You got to be tested, battle tested, and you got to find out if you're ready or not. Speaking of ready or not, there's a song called, I think it was Take 7 or After 7, it's called Ready. Oh, I can't sing it like them. Ready or not, I'll give you everything and more. It's that, what did it say? All that I've got. I know you don't want to hear me keep singing, but I love that song. I'll give you everything, everything. All you're looking for, oh, everything is not anything if you're not here to share my dreams. You don't know what it means to me if you'll accept my love. Ooh, I dedicate my heart, my soul, my heart beats for you. I know you want me to stop, but I can't get enough because I wait for your love. There's nothing that I'd rather do. Okay, I'll stop. But I hope you understand, and that's how I feel by getting the national press credential. One black man for Big C Sports. I didn't start on my own, but I'm flying that 50B-52 bomber all by myself, all strand level. Well, so ready or not, the Bears quarterback Justin Fields, he's going to start against the Browns. It's all fair and love and war. Football is tough. And now he gets a chance to shine. A lot of people want to see him shine. Give that man some praise. I hope he succeeds. Chicago's a tough city, especially if you don't win. All he needs to do is win, no matter what. The great DJ Khaled. If he wins, no matter what, he'll be fine. Already underway. We have some, are you ready for some Thursday night football? Let's go. Always ready for some Thursday night football. We have the Panthers and the Texans for Thursday night football. It's a great game. Unbeaten Carolina Panthers. They're at the Houston Texans tonight for Thursday night football. Kickoff was 8:20 p.m. East Coast time on the NFL Network. The Panthers began the day as an 8-point favorite. And so the odds for every game go up and down up to kickoff. But it's all fair and love and war. You think about it, the Texans have inactive is touchdown Deshaun Watson, also Brevin Jordan, Justin Reed, Terrence Mitchell, and Jordan Jenkins. There's a couple other players, Danny Amendola. But when you think about it, that team coming in, Carolina, they have a good quarterback in Sam Darnold. I guess it's just about who you're matched with, just like in life. Sometimes you're with people that jump off the ship, and that's okay. Let them jump. There's always somebody trying to get on the ship. But if you look about what's going on with Carolina, I think they're going to be a good team this year. They're not going to challenge Tampa, but Tampa may lose this week in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Wouldn't it be something if Sam Darnold was kicked out of New York? They said, get out, don't come back. They even cheered that he got kicked out of New York City. What if on Sunday night, Carolina's in first place? If they beat the Texans tonight, and no one knows, if they beat the Texans tonight, you have a quarterback in Sam Darnold that would be in first place in the division. The Saints have lost, the Falcons are winless, and if the Buccaneers lose in Los Angeles on Sunday night, and if the Carolina Panthers win today, they have a quarterback that was booed. They were booing him out of New York, and now you may have Carolina in first place in the NFC South. Isn't that something? The Texans, as Davis Mills will be the 13th third-round quarterback to start as a rookie since the year 2000. You think about that. Sam Darnold, the Panthers open as of right now, the line moved around 4.5-point favorite in some. It was as much as 8 not that long ago. Davis and Mills starting. The total open at 43.5. Vegas has been off on the over-under lately. I know they had Washington and New York Giants. I think their over-under was like 39.5. That ended up being 59. And then you think about, so it started at 43.5, then 43. So the line can move around kind of like a seesaw. But Panthers running back touchdown Christian McCaffrey is the center of most of the bet for the prop bettors. You know, I give you all the information on prop betting. The guys I don't want to mess up. You don't want to get those prop bettors wrong, because sometimes they got guys that come looking for you. They say, hey man, what are all those exotic meats? But I don't want to give away too many exotic meats for those prop bettors. But just keep that in mind. Sam Darnold, he arrives at NRG Stadium, and he's 2-0. Here's a guy that people were saying he's not good enough to play in the NFL. But he kept his mind right. He got with a good team that appreciated his talent. They didn't say, hey, F you, man, like the fans in New York were saying, F you, Sam Darnold, we don't need to get out of here, you bum. You stupid bum, we don't need to, F you, man, get out of here. Which stands for fun up. You know, everybody has fun up. Fun up, F you, fun up. Don't get mad for you guys that don't understand how to have fun. Girls just want to have fun, too. Girls just want to have fun, and they'll do it whether they tell you or not, if that makes sense to you. I know a couple of friends that do these dating applications. They're always swiping left and swiping right. And they always say, oh, those men are dogs. Those men are roof. They're dogs. You know, they say the men are dogs. Every man has 3-part dog in them. It's funny because all my male friends that get on these dating apps, they're always talking to women. They're not ever talking to other guys. I mean, if some people, that's how you roll, that's how you roll. But most men on dating apps, they're looking for women. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love. They're on there finding women who are more than willing to act like a fish in the water. Any worm that comes by, they're going to grab it, if that makes sense to you. Be careful of that hook. Be careful of grabbing worms with hooks in the, you know, what are going to hook in your mouth, if that makes sense to you. But everybody has their own fun, whatever they do. Really appreciate that. I want to take some time. I'm going to do it after the Big C pause, because it's important to me. I did not go, well, I'm just going to leave you with a tease. Sometimes you're looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love. Dating right now, When I was growing up, you had to meet people. And so you just met people by friends or sometimes just by going out. Now you see these fishermen, they actually go fishing with a net. They fish with a whole fish net. I know a male friend of mine, he has like 50 women on a dating site, and they all think that they're the only one he's looking at. That makes sense to you. I said, yeah, man, but you probably think you're the only one she's looking at, if that makes sense to you. Be careful, because fish get a hook in their mouth. When you get a hook in your mouth, it's hard to get it out, if that makes sense to you. Speaking of taking hooks out of your mouth, it's easy to get it out if it never goes in, if that makes sense to you. We're going to take what's called the Big C Ball. In the words of the former California Governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. All right, we are back from the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You can follow Big C Sports. Now, listen to this. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's actually 18 podcast applications now. There was 17, but now there's 18. I just got to verify the last one that you can follow Big C Sports Podcast on Facebook. That's Mark Zuckerberg's company. Isn't that something? It's amazing how you get the media accreditation with the NFL, and now your podcast applications are growing. So I ask everybody that's listening anywhere in the universe, make sure you click on Big C Sports Podcast, because every time you click, I get paid. Show that man some praise. Let him praise. Man, I really appreciate that. We have millions of listeners to Big C Sports Podcast all around the world. I thank the NFL for the accreditation. It don't matter what anybody says. I said so many people when I started out had so much criticism, so much junk that are like, man, how you going to make it? You know, sometimes you're not going into a studio all the time. Sometimes you go right on the spot and do a podcast from a stadium or anywhere you find that you want to do a podcast. Oftentimes I started out going to a studio, but that's just like a news reporter. You go where the action is. But for anyone that wants to get into podcast, and my goal, it may sound far-fetched, but I want to reach 1 million kids, especially African-American kids. Because since civil rights, a lot of black people stopped working for themselves. And then before civil rights, I'm not knocking it, but before civil rights, most black Americans, they work for themselves. They own their own businesses. My grandfather owned 2 service stations in Oakland. My mother, they always had a cleaning business or some kind of business where the grocery store, and they worked for themselves. And that meant you had autonomy. You never got fired when you worked for yourself. I've never seen anyone in my family that worked for themselves get fired. I've been fired myself. I've seen people who have their own business, they never get fired. And so pre-civil rights, most African Americans have their own business. And then when civil rights came, they started working for the mainstream. So now they were no longer owners. That meant that when they went to a bank, they did not get the loan because the loan was already given to the employer. There's something called Title VII. Every African American immediately should look up. You have a right to part of that $15 billion enterprise that the NFL is. But these companies aren't going to tell you that. They'll just tell you surround the white guy and you guys make him look good. You can Google it. So everybody that wants to get into business, you have more leeway with the bank. When you get your EIN number, you actually can qualify for a grant that's in 7 figures. I didn't know that until some other black men told me. Because a lot of people are getting resumes working to go work for the mainstream. If you're black, you're mostly going to be last hired, first fired. They will marginalize you. Look at what happened to Maria Taylor, ESPN. She was making $1 million. There were women that didn't have half her talent, making twice and 3 times as much. You can Google it. I'm just saying, you have not because you ask not. I want to pay homage to the college, the HBCU. I did not go to an HBCU, but there are a lot of people who have. In the HBCU, you have Florida A&M and Benedict College. They're top HBCU bands. Think about that. They even rank the bands. There's a lot of history in African Americans with the world of entertainment and bands. Give them some praise. Give those bands some praise, especially the Southern bands. So after 2 years of being on hiatus, this season the undefeated rankings for the top bands among historically black colleges and universities called the HBCUs in the NCAA Division I and Division II, where the top bands are the Florida A&M Marching 100. Give those good old boys some praise. I said give them some praise. Praise. Give them praise. Think about that. Florida A&M, the Marching 100, in Division I, and Benedict College Band of Distinction in Division II. For the first time in history, FAMU sits number 1 overall in the final 2019 top 10 rankings. Give them some praise. Give them praise. Praise, praise, praise. Because oftentimes African Americans are only acknowledged for their sports and athleticism. So that to me is really important. The rankings were conducted by 2 6-person panels of current and retired band directors and HBCU choreographers to evaluate bands on the musicality, the pictures, the drills, and designs, the percussions, the auxiliary corps, and drum majors. Judges critique the band's routines after watching their performances, and then they provide feedback. And they either get a standing ovation or they don't. You know, the gong show, remember that? You get gonged if you didn't do well. But give them praise, 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 praise. I love giving them praise. Now, Black Americans, wake up. Because mainstream has access to things you don't have. And mainstream knows that. Almost every African American that's on a show for somebody else, you will never, ever, ever get anything more than a salary. They're not going to give you ownership in it. You won't have your name on the show. It'll be the blank blank show with 5 black people on the side. That's a fact. But when you have your own EIN number, you can qualify for grants up to 7 figures. A lot of people don't know that. Well, you just heard it on Big C Sports. You're not going to hear it anywhere else. The HBCUs, they bring up nearly $1 billion in exposure because of sports. Give them some praise. Not because they play football, basketball, and baseball. The HBCUs bring up $1 billion in exposure through sports. And a lot of these great colleges, they have great marching bands that may not get a lot of acknowledgement by mainstream, but they're there. Howard versus Hampton, the battle for the real HU rages on. J.R. Smith College tweets. It shows maturation. I mean, it's all fair and love and war. There's so much money out there, while other polls are focused strictly on entertainment, popularity, and competition. The goal is to continually improve the quality of our amazing HBCU bands through positive feedback from their peers and professional colleges and all their colleagues involved. That's by Don P. Roberts, executive consultant for the undefeated HBCU band ranking. All I'm saying is you can get in where you fit in, but ranking the bands from Division I, Division II schools, which include the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference called the MEAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference called the SWAC, the Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association called the CIAA, the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference called the SIAC, the independent schools such as Tennessee State, Hampton in Division I, Talladega College, Allen University, Langston University, Florida Memorial, Edward Waters in Division II are also rated. Last, I'll finish with this, because it's important, guys. This season is the first of both FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, and the SWAC and Bethune-Cookman Marching Wildcats are number 2 in the initial rankings, right behind the former MEAC competitor. So I'm telling young kids, African Americans, oftentimes you want to know where you fit in, and oftentimes, and there's nothing wrong with looking for work in the mainstream media, but you're going to get in where you fit in. If you have a talent and you're not afraid to use it, you're not afraid to try and apply yourself, you have a chance to make something of your life that's controlled by you. You're the one that does it. When I got the credential for the NFL yesterday, it said Big C Sports has been approved. That's important, because now with that accreditation and the EIN number, I also qualify for millions of dollars in grants for minority businesses. You don't get that when you're doing a time clock for somebody else. There are people who've gotten over $1 million in grant money because they have a national accreditation that Big C Sports just got yesterday, the first day of autumn. The autumn wind is a raider. Give that man some praise, 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 praise. And there's a lot of people who quit. They quit because they didn't have the same vision. Remember, I've been paying homage to God. Genesis chapter 13:15, for all the land that thou seest will I give you, and thy seed forever. I've been saying I'm going to build Big C Sports into a $1 billion corporation. I'm just following the yellow brick road that Bob Johnson followed with BET Entertainment. Big C Sports is on podcast and television. It doesn't matter what people think about you when you're just starting out. It's like an iceberg straight ahead. Most of the iceberg is under the water. They don't see all the hard work and the tireless hours that go into it. Give us some praise, 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 praise. There were times I did not know what I was going to cover, but I just trusted God and I go with my higher self. That's why I don't use scripts. It's like those of you out there swiping left, swiping right. It's an adult show. For those of you making love, you don't have a script unless you're in that industry. And some people in that industry, there's nothing wrong with it. California's big on that industry. It's called adult entertainment. There's a reason the Raiders went to Las Vegas. A lot of people go there because it's where adults play. I'm just being real with you. If you want to do something in business, Black Americans understand Title VII. As you're sending out 50,000 resumes, send out at least 10% of that. Just send out 500 or send out 5,000. You won't have to send out that many. I'm telling you, when I called NBC Sports, some people that I worked with back in 1996. I called Fox Sports, some people that I worked with back in 1996. I called CBS Sports, some people that I worked with back in 1996. None of them returned the phone call. None of them. And my show is as good as any of them they have on the air. All I did was went to the source, and I put it behind prayer. I was told I would get the information Thursday, which is today. When I was doing Big C Sports Podcast yesterday, the credential and the approval was already in my email. Give that man some praise, 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 praise. I'm just saying, you either lead, follow, or get out of the way. And hardly any national media company is not worth 7 figures. It's just part of the territory. There are some that are worth billions of dollars. And there are not that many that are black owned. And the money's there. They're begging you to take it. But most of us, we're so busy getting that resume ready for somebody that don't want you there in the first place. Last hired, first fired. You can Google it. Read the book, The Color of Law. I'm just very passionate about it because my mother had always told me about some things that were coming true. And they're coming true today. She said you're going to lose some people along the way. That's just the way life is. But if you keep going forward and you don't look back, I'll be back. You will be back. But you come back to a bigger audience, a bigger platform. But you never know until you break through it. You got to break through that pain of people saying, oh man, you suck. You got to break through that pain of people saying, oh man, nobody's listening to you. Your microphone sucks. Your sound system's crappy. And then nobody's listening to you. And then you wake up with a national accreditation for the National Football League. One black man, not 50 people. No teleprompters, no scripts. Nobody in my ear telling me what to say. There was a lot of people that said, man, if you just sign with me, I will get you what you want. If you just swipe left or swipe right, I'll get you what you want. You know, my friend was telling me half the people on his dating sites are married women. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love. Married women looking for love. Hooking up like a fish, sucking on any worm that swims to the bottom of the lake. Be careful when you get that hook in your mouth. It's hard to get it out. You gotta go to the doctor to get the hook out. Or something. It's all fair level where people do what they want to do. But I want to thank everybody that stood by me as I was building this empire that my mother told me I'd have a long time ago. I always believed her. So that's why I say every day my mama always says no room for racism or domestic violence. Give that woman some praise, 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 praise. All my life, I've never known my mother to tell me to screw anybody over. If you make a mistake, apologize. Own up when you do wrong. Apologize. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Give us some praise, 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 praise. And all you do, protect your family. Don't let anybody hurt your family, because if people do, hurt theirs instead. Nobody who loves you would ever bring hurt to you. But that's okay. Now that you're worth $7 million, you just keep going forward and you bless your kids. Don't worry about other people. Give it praise, 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 praise. I'm going to just bring up some information tonight's baseball. There's a lot of information in the world of baseball. A lot of teams, they're fighting for that stretch for the baseball playoffs. And it's right around the corner. It's not that far away. Some teams won't make it. Just like when I started Big C Sports Podcast, some people won't make it. Isn't that something? $1 million company and some people quit. It's all fair in love and war. You can't have everybody on the ship anyway. If the Starship Enterprise beat me up, Scotty, when they went into warp drive, everybody said, whoa, that ship is fast. It's all fair in love and war. I really want to just reach out to young people that are in any boat that you're in. You can spend your whole life working on another man's farm. When it's time to harvest, he says, wait a minute, it's not for you, man. That's for my family. That's for my family. You say, but I've been out here digging dirt, planting seeds, watering your field, making sure your crop was ready to take to the market, and now it's time to the harvest, and you say I can't have it. He said, that's right. You see that sign on that line? You see that sign on that building? It says mine. I got mine, get yours. And unfortunately, too many of us have spent our whole life trying to mine somebody else's farm. And never, ever, ever will have your dreams come true because they're not going to give it to you. Smart people protect their families. Foolish people don't. You make the call. Major League Baseball, a beautiful day. It is September the 23rd, 2020. Welcome to the show. Let's get ready to rumble. Going to fly into San Diego, California. Beautiful San Diego International Airport. The San Francisco Giants coming to town. It's all fair in love and war. Now, I just want to say this to a lot of people that saw the game last night. What a game it was. If you like baseball and you see how well the Giants have been playing and they're being chased by the Dodgers, I just want everyone to love baseball. You don't have to love baseball. I can't say want everyone to do anything. But when you love the game the way I do, my mother coached it when I was a young boy in Little League and actually won a league championship. Give her praise, 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 praise. It got into my spirit seeing a beautiful black woman manage Little League baseball players. And there were some parents who said, I will not tolerate that black woman teaching my kid anything. And she stood up for herself and said, then quit. She was the only black coach in the whole league. Most of these are liberal white brethren. Oh, I love you. Hey, God bless you. Hey, that Dr. King, he's a good preacher. Says, turn the other cheek, even when we slap you. Some of these same people that I like, friends with their kids. I had a white coach, he had to step aside. He trusted my mother to manage the team. So he asked her to manage the team. And would you believe we were not even in first place when she managed the team? Some of my white friends, their parents, they said, I'll never have one of them teach my boy anything. And my mother said, quit. You don't want to listen to me, quit. And the white manager, the coach of our team that had to step aside, he asked my mother. He said, you got my 100% support. Give him praise, 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 praise. And we went on and won a league championship. And I saw my mother take a lot of hell from a lot of people who call themselves Christians, like some now that try to get into your family and destroy them. Or they try to destroy black fathers by threatening black fathers, by threatening to call the police on black fathers, by trying to tear black fathers from their black children so they can prey on their children more. That's why most of the kids in the criminal justice system, the black boys and girls, their fathers aren't in the picture. They're taken up by mainstream. Sometimes the same people you know will turn their back on you. Yeah, the devil is alive. All fair in love and war. Welcome to the ballpark. Runners on first and third. We have the counts full. The pitch. Curveball swung on. Hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. It's all fair in love and war. The girls love the long ball. And men love to hit deep. The Giants are at the Padres on the mound for a beautiful Thursday, September 23rd. Pitching is Ross Detweiler. Also at bat is Chris Bryant. And then pay attention at bat, Tommy LaStella. Those are the only names I can give you per my prop betting friends that threaten to hurt me if I keep giving away too much information. I just want to be loved. I just want to be loved. I just want to be loved and free to give my love to anyone who sees it. I just want to be loved. It's all love war. So the Giants doing their thing, trying to stay in first place with the San Diego Padres. All fair in love and war. Tatis went yard last night. What a ball player he is. Got his number 40th home run, hit deep, all that jazz. Gonna fly out of San Diego into Cleveland. This for you. We have runners on first and third. That counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, here deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. It's all fair in love and war. I really appreciate Major League Baseball. We have pitching Matt Foster. Pay attention to Matt Foster. And then at bat, Bobby Bradley, as well as Bradley Zimmer. Think about those guys. And then Framil Reyes. That's all I can give you when the White Sox are at Cleveland. It's for you. Gonna fly out of Cleveland. Gonna fly into Cincinnati. Oh, Cincinnati has had a good team at times. Other times it's not. Washington Nationals at Cincinnati. We have runners on first and third. That counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, here deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. Pitching is Luis Castillo. Also at bat, Alcides Escobar, and then Patrick Corbin. Keep those names in mind. I'm going to fly out of the beautiful city of Cincinnati. Going to fly into Philadelphia. Hey, do me a favor. I had some backed by popular demand. Big C singing Philadelphia freedom. Shine a light, shine a light, shine a light. Won't you shine a light? Give me some praise. Philadelphia freedom, shine on me, 'cause I love you. Shine a light to the eyes of the world left behind. The great Elton John, sing it with me. Shine your light, shine a light. Come on, y'all. Shine a light, won't you shine a light? Come on, Philadelphia freedom. If you don't love the great Elton John, then you don't love music. Pittsburgh in Philadelphia. What a offensive swing. I can't say who did it, but we have runners on first and third. That counts for the switch. Fastball, swung on, here deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. It's all fair in love and war. I can just give you the pitching. Pay attention to Connor Overton, and then also at bat, Andrew Knapp, as well as Kevin Newman up at the plate. I can only give you that information. I'm going to fly out of the beautiful city of Philadelphia, where they boo Santa Claus like Bill Simmons told Doc Rivers. F you, Doc Rivers, F you, man. I heard you say you didn't believe in me. F you, man. I'm going to go where they give me some praise. Give that man some praise. Doc's like, oh, I didn't say that. And Doc, you're on tape. It's all fair in level war. Just tell the truth. Man up to it. All fair in level war. The Texans at Baltimore. We have runners on first and third. That counts for the pitch. Swung on. Hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair in love and war. I can tell you pitching is Glenn Otto. And at bat, Trey Mancini, as well as Nathaniel Lowe. Those are the names I can give you per my prop betting instructions, and I'm going to stick with it. Going to talk about the Minnesota Twins, going to fly into Minnesota, and the Toronto Blue Jays are there, and the great Vladimir Guerrero telling you guys, just calm down like Aaron Rodgers, relax, no more fighting. Why do men fight in baseball? It doesn't make any sense. However, runners on first and third, that counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. In Minnesota, the girls say, let's go crazy. The great Prince, let's go crazy. Oh no, let's go. Come on, I'm not gonna let the elevator break us down. Oh no, let's go crazy. Come on, let's get nuts. Come on, y'all get nuts. I don't know the rest of the song, but I understand. I don't want to tear up any Prince recordings. All fair and love and war. One of the greatest entertainments in the history of the universe. The great Prince, all fair and love and war. At pitching is Michael Pineda. Keep that in mind. At bat is Danny Jansen. Also Randall Guruk. Keep that in mind. I'm going to fly out of Minnesota into the beautiful city of Los Angeles, LAX, where the Los Angeles Angels are at home versus the Houston Astros. The Astros are a good team. Astros are 44-33 away. The Angels are 37-40 at home. And then I'll just leave it at that. We have runners on first and second. That counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, here deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair love and war. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. And that's a beautiful ballpark down in Anaheim. They never really have a full house. I guess a lot of people go up to Chavez Ravine and watch the Dodgers play. But on the mound, Lance McCullers Jr., he's a good boy, has a 3.11 ERA. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a gunslinger. And then Alex Cobb, he's 8-3 on the season, has a 3.59 ERA. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a gunslinger trained by the great Obi-Wan Kenobi, all fair in Love and War. I'm going to take you to another game that's already happened, but I guess they played a doubleheader. We have Chicago at home. Actually, it was Cleveland. Cleveland, it's for you. And the White Sox are in town, so perhaps a doubleheader. Just want to make sure runners on first and second. That counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, hit deep. Left field, back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. All fair and Love and War. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. When you think about the pitchers, Aaron Bummer, keep in mind Aaron Bummer, and then also Arvon Savell. Those are guys that can throw lightning fast, it seems. I'm going to fly you into Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the St. Louis Cardinals at the Milwaukee Brewers. We have runners on first and third. The count's full. The pitch. Curveball. Swung on. Hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. The pitcher, keep in mind, TJ McFarland. He's a good old boy. And also Aaron Ashby. He's also a good old boy. All fair and Love and War. Now, a game that's of an important interest in the Bay Area. I tell you, I'm going to get credentialed for the World Series, and I'd rather walk to the World Series in San Francisco than hitchhike down to Sylvester Bean. That makes sense to you. Hit deep, left field, home run, all that jazz. It's better when you're walking downtown San Francisco as opposed to driving to L.A. or flying to L.A. We have runners on first and third. The count's full. The pitch swung on, curveball, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. All fair and Love and War. The Dodgers got hacked yesterday, so I was wrong. I thought they would have won yesterday, but today you got to go and tune in and see what happened in that game. On the mound for the Dodgers, the great Kenley Jensen, and on the mound for Colorado Rockies is Lucas Galbraith. That's all I can give you. I'm going to take you to another game here in Oakland, California, flying out of Denver, Colorado, into Oakland in the East Bay, Oakland International Airport. They have a great series. We have the Seattle, the Mariners are in town, the Oakland Athletics. Man, I don't know how the season's going to look for them. Only about 8 games left in the season. We have runners on first and third. The count's full. The pitch. Slider, swung on, hit deep. Left field, back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. All fair and Love and War. In Oakland, the girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep, especially in the East Bay Hills. On the mound, Joe Smith. Keep in mind for him. Also, Jake Diekman for the A's. I can only give you those names. And I'm going to fly down to Arizona for the final game today in the great Sam Jackson. I'm tired of all these blankety-blank snakes on this blankety-blank stadium. All fair and Love and War. In fact, this segment is sponsored to you by the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with, what's all this exotic means? Give the Big C Burger some praise. Give the Big C Burger some praise. Give it praise, 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 praise. Give that Big C Burger some praise. All fair and Love and War. The Arizona Diamondbacks. You know, some people eat rattlesnake. I had a friend of mine, he said, man, I ate some rattlesnake. I said, why are you all swollen up? He said he tried to eat it alive. That's not sad at all. Don't drink Corona before you have the Big C Burger or Rattlesnake Burger. He should have had the Budweiser Zero. It has 0% alcohol, and it tastes great. It's 100% on this game. Give it some standing ovation. Give the Budweiser Zero some praise. Give it some praise. Praise, praise, praise. I love it. All fair and Love and War. The Arizona Diamondbacks. We have runners on first and third. The count's full. The pitch. Curveball. Swung on. Hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. The girls love the long ball. Men love to hit deep. On the mound, Jacob Webb for Atlanta. And also Sean Poppin. I can't give you what happened in that game because I do want to just make all my prop betting guys happy. And I think I got through without giving out anything I was supposed to. Give me some praise. Come on, give me some praise. Praise, praise, praise. I love it. It's all fair and Love and War. We have some action for WNBA basketball. I know WNBA. It's amazing basketball. A lot of the women, they never get the, I guess they never get the acclaim. They never get the praise that the men get. But it's all fair and Love and War. I just want to touch on round one You have the Sky, they're playing the Wings. I'm not going to give out who's winning. And also the Liberty, they're playing the Mercury. So for all those great WNBA teams, I know you worked so hard all season long. And you want to have the best chance of making sure your fans pay attention and support those games too. So I love WNBA. Going to get more into that as we get past, into the first round and all that jazz. Really appreciate it. For all the people that go into fantasy sports, go to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports, sponsored by Caesars Entertainment, all-purpose website. Go to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports. It's all fair level or featured in Sports Illustrated, Yahoo Sports, Associated Press, RotoWire, Sportico. Subscribe to unlock your exclusive fantasy sports. It's amazing. And betting experiences with Super Draft Pro, the official fantasy partner of Caesars Entertainment. Go to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports. It's all fair and level. I really appreciate that. I appreciate everyone that's been part of Big C Sports Podcast over the years. It's really something that I enjoy doing, like I enjoy breathing. It's something that really makes me happy, and I love trying to influence anybody, and especially influence the NFL to make Big C Sports nationally credentialed media. It's all fair and level. As my beautiful mama always says, treat people the way you want to be treated. Back in the day, there was a man by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man, and he would always tell Ali, man, with all you've got to use, how can you lose? Man, what's all this exotic meat? You got to fight in 3 hours? And Ali would say, I eat the exotic meat because I float like a butterfly, I sting like a bee, I'm pretty, and I can't possibly be beat. I rumble, young man, rumble. With all I've got to use, how can I lose with these Big C burgers? It comes with exotic meats. If that makes sense to you, you can have exotic meats too. There's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. If you know any man, woman, or child going through that garbage, please pick up the phone and ask for help, because no man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. And as we always tell you on every Big C Sports show, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we hope that you have, what's all this exotic meats on your dinner plate, a super fantastic day. Man, I think I can sing. I kept singing the Temptations. Let it rain, let it rain, rain, rain. I also think you did a good job when you sing Philadelphia Freedom, Elton John. I just need a producer to work with my voice. I tried on my own, but it's just not the same. So do you think I can win an Oscar for singing too, or just podcasting? Take the podcast call. All for another word.